Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with another fantastic video for you guys out there in K1 visa land, green card land. Now this video is pertaining to folks who come into the United States as tourists, perhaps to meet their American citizen girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, etc. And so, pay attention to class. Every video I make is going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. Now remember, I'm not an immigration attorney, I don't work for USCIS, and I don't give you any legal advice. So what happens if you're a K1 visa applicant and you come to the United States as a tourist on a tourist visa, and then you overstay your visa, and then you work illegally in the United States while waiting, let's suppose, for adjudication to your green card, if you happen to go that route, which I don't recommend you do, not especially with the current administration. So this video is what is the consequences of working on a tourist visa, even while waiting for adjudication perhaps. Now every year, millions of people, they come to the United States legally, foreigners, they come in here and on tourist visas, which is fine. We appreciate the tourism in our country. Most of these folks, they comply with the terms of their stay, and then they go back home before their authorized period ends, as per the I-94. You look on the I-94. Now, however, some of these folks decide to remain in the country and start working without authorization. And most of the folks that do this are people that come in on tourist visas and marry Americans, and then they try to adjust status. Now, in 2026, immigration authorities continue to treat visa overstays and unauthorized employment as a serious immigration violation. So you got to understand the consequences if you do this. Now, it is essential for anyone to learn, watch this video, if you're even going to consider going down this pathway. Now, the B1, B2 visa allows temporary visits for tourism, family visits, medical treatment, limited business activities, but it does not give you authority to work in the United States. So if you come in on a tourist visa, hook up with your American citizen fiance, and then accept a job working for cash under the table, freelancing, or providing services for compensation, this could constitute unauthorized employment. And immigration, if they find out, you're going to have problems. Now, even if the work appears informal or temporary, immigration authorities generally consider it a violation of your visa condition that may affect your future immigration benefits and applications, especially if you are engaged or want to marry an American citizen.
Hello there. Are you two heading for Las Vegas? I am
Get the hell out of the cockpit!
So you look at your I-94 and then you figure out this day, the time frame has expired, okay? From that expiration date, and you're still here in America working, that's when you start accumulating an unlawful presence in the United States. And this status is going to create serious immigration consequences and will affect future eligibility for visas like K1s or spousal visas and or lawful admission in the future, even to come back as a tourist. Now, the longer a person remains after their authorized stay ends on the I-94, the greater the potential penalties become. The worse it's going to get. Now, immigration officials carefully review unlawful presence histories when they are evaluating future applications for entry into the USA. So, if you have an overstay, unauthorized entries, etc., and you've applied for a K1, it's going to show up on your K1 application. Immigration's going to find out. Many visitors assume they can simply just leave the country and apply for another visa later on. In reality, an overstay complicates your future travel plans significantly. Trust me. Consulate officers reviewing new visa applications, they may review a previous violation as evidence that the applicant cannot be trusted to follow immigration rules. Right? You're seeing lots of people getting detained at their 2-year green card interviews because they overstayed on tourist visas. Now, this will result in increased scrutiny, repeated denials, and difficulties obtaining approval for future tourist, student, or work visas, and possibly, most no doubt, K-1 visas and spousal visas and 2-year green cards. So if you work without authorization, you're going to create complications for yourself beyond the visa overstay. So you're working, that's a problem, and the visa overstay is another problem. Immigration authorities may consider unauthorized employment when evaluating adjustment of status requests for your 2-year green card, or for your work permit, your employment-based petition, or future immigration benefits, whether it's a K-1 visa, 2-year green card, or spousal visa, etc. Now, in some situations, unauthorized work can make individuals ineligible for certain immigration pathways. So don't do it. If you come to the United States as a tourist, be a tourist. Don't get a job and don't get married to an American. Well, you can if you want, but you're going to have issues. Now, because employment records often leave paper trails, well, they do, proving compliance with immigration rules later is going to be much more difficult after unauthorized work. So if you're working here illegally, it's going to give you problems, okay? Individuals found to be unlawfully present, overstaying your visa, or working without authorization may be placed into removal proceedings. So you go to your 2-year green card interview, you've been working in the United States, you came in on a tourist visa, you go to your green card interview, you're going to be detained and deported, most via an immigration judge, no doubt. Now, deportation can occur following immigration investigations, workplace enforcement actions, law enforcement encounters, don't get in trouble with the sheriff, or other interactions with government agencies. Now, when the proceedings begin, individuals will face legal expenses, court appearances, detention risks, and significant uncertainty about your future in the United States with your new future husband or wife who is an American citizen. Now, even when relief options exist, the process can be lengthy, stressful, and financially very expensive.
Now, you do know how to drive a little bit?
Yes?
Yes. Put it in D.
Immigration laws impose significant penalties for unlawful presence in our constitutional republic. Individuals who accumulate more than 180 days but less than 1 year of unlawful presence may face a 3-year re-entry ban into the United States after you leave the United States. So you're engaged to an American and you've been in the country illegally over a visa overstay, then you get banned from coming back for 3 years. And then those who remain in the country unlawfully for 1 year or more possibly will trigger a 10-year ban. And these penalties will separate families. They will disrupt long-term plans for your work, education, and your legal immigration opportunity to be reunited with your new husband or wife. A history of overstaying or unauthorized employment will create obstacles when you are pursuing future immigration benefits. So don't do it. Consular officers and immigration officials routinely review previous compliance with immigration laws. They're going to check your immigration history all the way back to day one. Now, even if you qualify later on for a legitimate visa category like a K-1 or a spousal visa, past immigration violations most definitely will complicate your approval for this K-1 visa, okay, or spousal visa, or 2-year green card. In many cases, applicants must provide additional documentation and they must try to overcome the concerns about whether they will follow immigration requirements in the future, right? Are you a trustworthy person? It's a character test primarily also. Now, federal law is prohibiting employers from knowingly hiring individuals who lack authorization to work in the United States. So employers will be facing consequences too, not just you as an individual, okay? Businesses that violate the employment verification process or requirements could face fines. They're going to get audited by the federal government. They could suffer other penalties. And while the enforcement priorities vary, employers remain responsible for completing the required paperwork and the documentation. They're responsible for verifying your employment eligibility. That's why you apply for your green card, right? You don't want to start working in the country unless you have a green card or a work permit. As a result, unauthorized workers are going to face unstable employment situations and limited legal protections compared to authorized employees. So if you do it the right way, you come into the country the right way and don't violate the immigration laws, you're not going to have any problems. Like I said, individuals who overstay their visas and work without authorization will be living in this country with ongoing uncertainty. They're going to be looking over their shoulder all the time. Access to stable employment, financial services, travel opportunities, and certain benefits are going to be limited, and many avoid routine interactions that could expose their immigration status. So you become trapped in this country. You're not a free person. This uncertainty is going to definitely affect career growth, family planning, and your overall quality of life. So the longer somebody remains without legal status in this country, the United States, the more difficult it may become to resolve this immigration issue later. So don't do it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Trust in Diego and what I'm telling you. Now, although legal immigration processes are complex, that's why we have this YouTube channel, to make it easy for you to understand the process, and it's time consuming, okay? Coming here legally will provide stronger long-term opportunities for you than violating the visa rules to try to save money or take a shortcut. You got it?
More calling Orson. Come in, Orson. More calling Orson. Come in.
So, authorized work permits, EADs, I guess you call them, employment-based visas, family sponsorships, K-1s, green cards, and other lawful pathways will offer you stability and legal protections. Remember, only an immigration judge can take away your green card if you get it the right way. Individuals considering staying beyond an authorized visit, okay, is not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to create permanent barriers to future opportunities here in this great constitutional republic, the United States of America. Thanks for watching the video, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't forget I do a live stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. If you want to join as a member, you get my phone number and email address. Please, if you join, send me a text message. Tell me you've joined. Tell me your YouTube handle. And then call me if you have any questions. It's not legal advice, but I've been doing this for 13 years through different presidents, different congressional representation, etc., etc. I will pull you over the finish line, and I will get you I will not get you qualified, but I will get you approved and overcome these difficulties if you qualify for this benefit. See you at the next live stream.
I'll be back.